How long have you been living by the ocean?
60 years.
How long have you been boating?
48 years.
Have you ever been caught in a storm while driving your boat or in a boat?
Yes, I have.
Was it just raining or was it an actual lightning storm?
It was raining, lightning, and heavy winds with high seas.
So there were big waves?
High seas, yes, big waves.
How did you handle the situation?
Very calm and controlled.
Were you driving? Were you in the boat? What was your position?
I was skippering the boat and I had passengers with me.
It was a sailboat?
I've been in many storms actually, so there's probably both power and sail.
So how do you handle the waves that are coming at your boat?
Typically, if you have high seas with big waves, you would point your boat into those waves. So your bow is going into the wave and the wave is going over the top of the boat. You wouldn't go sideways into the wave because then your boat would capsize.
Okay. Could you say that you've traveled around the world or country before?
Not in a boat, but I have traveled around the world many times in an airplane.
I understand. So, have you ever been somewhere other than westerly where you live, where you've seen big waves larger than you usually see?
Yes, many times in Florida, in California, even in the Pacific Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean, but the Pacific Rim in Asia, Hong Kong, places like that.
What size do you think you've seen?
What size waves? I've been seen and been out in waves at least 15 feet high.
You've been out in waves?
Yes, 15 feet at least, sailing.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it was interesting. Let me put it that way. It wasn't scary necessarily.
Okay, so it is known that when a tsunami forms and then goes onto land, it destroys all the sea life. So how do you think that affects the people of the countries or towns who make a livelihood out of fishing or lobstering or things like that?
Well, I think it affects them greatly because it changes the balance of the ecosystem because there's a lot of coral that are dead. There's a lot of places that the fish and lobsters can't go into anymore. A lot of the fish wash up on shore, so it reduces the possible catch that they can get and make a living at. So I'm sure it doesn't help them at all.
How have tsunamis in other countries affected the well-being of the people?
Well, the people are affected because there's a lot of deaths because of the tsunami. A lot of people that lost their homes, children that are lost, don't have parents. So it affects them physically and emotionally.
Okay. Does it affect their food and shelter?
Yeah, it affects the food, the water supply. There's very little clean water to drink. There's probably not much food, especially when they grow a lot of their foods in most of those countries anyway. So they don't have the food to eat, and it affects them through probably starvation and other issues, and also diseases.